if you are applying with multiple banks left, right and center, and most of those applications are getting rejected, so then it's a red signal for the other banks.
I have done multiple credit inquiries
Okay.
in a short span.
Yes.
As you said, I'm probably in distress or whatever it is.
Yes.
And it's affected my CIBIL score.
Yes.
What should I do now?
Take a break.
For how long?
At least 3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
Wow.
Absolutely. No.
And if you have immediate need for funds?
You have to borrow from your family. So
Okay.
financial institution will not entertain.
Okay. Interesting.
So if you are applying with multiple banks left, right and center, and most of those applications are getting rejected, so then it's a red signal for the other banks. So
Wow.
you have to take a break.
Is 3 months sufficient time?
3 months, after 3 months, slowly you can apply at
And
once.
when you say slowly you can apply, can you give me an example of what is too many inquiries? What's the frequency? And what is like slowly applying? Like what's the numbers if approximately you had to recommend to someone?
So my first and foremost advice to anybody, but to all our viewers is, so be always prudent. Okay, always have a long-term view of your finances.
Okay.
Never ever have a short-term view of your finances,
Okay.
right? So please anticipate what are the kinds of credit you would need in future.
Okay.
Right? No, it can be a medical need, it can be a housing loan, it can be a vehicle loan, it can be a business loan. But please always have an anticipation. Please plan your finance
Okay.
over a long term. If you want to build a house, imagine, then when are you planning to build a house? Let's assume after 3 years I'm planning to build a house. Then what is it that's required to build a house?
कितना पैसा रखना है?
Exactly. If am I funding entire the building cost from my own pocket, or am I going to access credit? How much is it's going to be? How am I going to service it? And what is it that takes to access credit? So if you have a long-term plan, then you will not, face all these troubles.
Okay.
And in terms of enquiries, the more the number of enquiries, and it, as I said, application to approval ratio, more application, less.
Oh, okay. So the number is not necessarily the number of applications.
1 or 2. It's
the application to
approval ratio.
So you should not keep it more than 2.
Anything. I mean, if 10 applications and 0 approvals,
You're gone.
big time impact.
Okay.
So if your one application is getting rejected, please understand why is it getting rejected, rather than applying with 10 different banks. Obviously, each one of them will have the same criteria, or right, no? So I wouldn't recommend anybody to make 10 applications at once. First understand your profile. Apply at a bank which can approve this kind of profile. So guys, this is again one more insight. Each bank will have its own criteria.
How do you find this data?
It's not for example, I can categorize in general. Lower the interest rate, stringent is going to be the approval measures.
Of course.
This is one easier criteria.
Right.
If you are accessing 7 to 8% housing loan, which is extremely low from an India perspective, then the approval is going to be very, very strict. They'll ask you for a lot of details. If you are accessing the same housing loan at 12 to 13%, then they can take deviations.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, no? So please understand your profile first before applying for a loan. So if your profile is bad, if you apply at a national bank, which is giving at 7 to 8%, they'll not approve your loan, because they won't be able to take deviations.